you sexy people out there, how you doing? I'm doing pretty goddamn good. Guys, I wanna talk about something that's been on my mind for a long goddamn time. Alright, so, as you all know, I have a syndrome called Klinefelter Syndrome. I'm in that, I'm classed as intersex. Intersex is a wide range of different things and different symptoms that go along with the name intersex. Lately, I've found a lot of people who I tell I'm intersex, they automatically think, oh, he's got a vagina, or he's got both, or he's got boobs, or, you know, or he's got ovaries, or, you know, no. I don't have any of those things. Only thing I have is everything that a male has, except for an extra X in my chromosomes. And that classes me as intersex, as I have an extra, anyone who has anything to do with female-male or male-female is intersex. Now, transgender, and someone who is transgender, male to female, female to male, you're classed in this category of intersex. And I think that Klinefelter Syndrome and transgender people could be linked somehow the same. Now, I've met a couple of people who are transgendered and have Klinefelter Syndrome. And I just met someone on YouTube that is beautiful, who is transgender and a male to female, who has Klinefelter Syndrome. And I want to talk to you guys about how I think that all this comes to is all one big thing. So, Klinefelter Syndrome, how's it go? Klinefelter Syndrome, intersex, and transgender. Well, yeah. So, what I want to do is, I kind of like, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reading out some facts about Klinefelter Syndrome, some facts about intersex, and some facts about transgender. I'm sure you guys already know this, but I'm trying to educate other people to know that this syndrome that I have is not going to affect you. Being a single man who is intersex, it's hard for me to find a girl that understands what I'm going through, and dating is very hard for me. Really, all I want to do is settle down with someone, but I can't because they always question. They question, oh, what is intersex? What? Because on one of my dating profiles, my profile is intersex man. Now, most of the time, people think into sex, but it doesn't say into sex. It says intersex, not into. So people ask me, oh, what does your name mean? And pretty much all I say means what it means, intersex. But then I say to them, you know, it doesn't mean I have extra parts or extra anything. It means just I have an extra chromosome, and that's about it. You know, it could be I have an extra Y chromosome. You're still intersex, you know. So, anyway. So what I'm going to be doing at the moment right now is I'm going to pause this vlog here. I'm going to start it up again in my screen recorder, and show you what I'm reading, so you guys can read it too, and understand maybe why sometimes I don't know how to say words and stuff like that, because it's gonna say it to you all in this 3 documents I'm gonna read out to you. I'm only gonna read you out what they are and not everything, but if you want to go to these websites, I'm gonna put them in the link below, in the description below. So I'm gonna pause that. I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, welcome back to the video. Guys, let's start from here. Klinefelter Syndrome. Not to be confused with XYY syndrome. Klinefelter Syndrome, or Klinefelters Syndrome, KS, also known as 47XXY or XXY, is the set of symptoms that result from 2 or more X chromosomes in males. The primary feature is sterility. Sterile. What? See, this is often symptoms may be subtle, and many people do not realize they are affected. Sometimes symptoms are more prominent and may include weaker muscles, greater height, poor coordination, less body hair, smaller genitals, breast growth, and less interest in sex. Often, it is only at puberty that these symptoms are noticed. Intelligence is usually normal, however, reading difficulties, such as what I'm doing right now, and problems with speech are more common symptoms and typically more severe in 3 or more X chromosomes are present. Klinefelter syndrome usually occurs randomly. An older mother might increase the risk slightly. The condition is not inherited from one's parents. The underlying mechanisms involved at least one extra X chromosome in addition to a Y chromosome, such that there is a total of 47 or more chromosomes rather than usual 46. KS is diagnosed by the genetic test known as a karyotype. While there is no cure, a number of treatments may help. Physical therapy, speech and language therapy, counseling, and adjustments of teaching methods may be useful. Testosterone replacement may be used in those who have significantly low levels. Enlarged breasts may be removed by surgery. About half of males affected with the help of assisted reproductive technology have a chance of having children. However, this is expensive and carries risks. The condition has a nearly normal life expectancy. Klinefelter syndrome is one of the most common chromosomal disorders, occurring in 1 to 500 to 1 in 1,000 live male births. It is named after Harry Klinefelter, who identified the condition in the 1940s. 1956 saw the identification of the extra X chromosome. Mice also can have the XXY syndrome, making them a useful research model. Now I just want to explain a little bit here. I have very mild Klinefelter syndrome. It talks about, so it's the symptoms. It talks about um, uh, weaker muscles. Yeah, I have weaker muscles. I did have low muscle tone as well, um, which means weaker muscles. Greater height. I am tiny. I am short for a Klinefelter syndrome. I'm only 5'6". Most Klinefelter people are around 6 foot. so it varies in so many different uh, people. Poor coordination. I've got great coordination. As a kid, it was a little bit less, but now my coordination's fine. Um, Less body hair. Yep, I don't even like body hair, but yes, I don't have much hair. Smaller genitals. As in I have smaller testicles. I don't have smaller penis. Um, the thing that a lot of people automatically think is, oh, he has smaller genitals, like altogether. Yeah. Some Klinefelters do have smaller genitals, all up, and the whole thing, but not always. Breast growth. I don't have any breasts at all. And less interest in sex is just, I don't know why they think that, but far out. I'm a bit of a nympho. Um, but the thing is, it also says often it is only at puberty that these symptoms are noticed. Um, so as growing up through to an adult, those symptoms may disappear. Um, So, yeah, just want to clear that up with a few people that don't understand. When they read something like this, they just automatically think, "Oh, no, that's not right. That's just, I don't want that in a boyfriend or whatever, you know." Oh, it's like oh my God, don't read into everything you read. Like, yeah, this is an official document from Wiki, um, and there is more down um, in this about Klinefelter syndrome. There's heaps more to read, and I will put this down in the description below. We're going to go to intersex now, and we're going to talk about intersex because Klinefelter syndrome is part of intersex um, group, um, as well as transgender, which we'll talk about at the end here. All right, intersex. Intersex in humans and other animals describes variations in sex characteristics, including chromosomes, gonads, or genitals, that do not fit typically binary notions of male or female bodies. Oh my God, my dog is scratching at the door, and I will get back to this in a minute. Oh, what, Bella? Sorry about that, guys. Alright, now, such variations may involve genital ambiguity and combinations of chromosomal genotype and sexual phenotype other than XY male and XX female. Intersex people were previously referred to as hermaphrodites, but the term has fallen out of favor as it is considered to be misleading and stigmatizing. Some intersex infants and children, such as those with ambiguous outer genitalia, are surgically or hormonally altered to create more social acceptable sex characteristics. However, this is considered controversial, with no firm evidence of good outcomes. Such treatments may involve sterilization. Adults, including elite female athletes, have also been subjected of such treatment. Increasingly, these issues are recognized as human rights abuses, with statements from international and national human rights and ethics institutions. Intersex organizations have also issued statements, including joint statement as part of the International Intersex Forum. Research in the late 20th century indicates a growing medical consensus that diverse intersex bodies are normal. It relatively if relatively rare, forms of human biology. In 2011, Christine Volling became the first intersex person known to have successfully sued for damages in a case brought for non-consensual surgical intervention. In April 2015, Malta became the first country to outlaw non-consensual medical interventions to modify sex anatomy, including that of intersex people. Like all individuals, intersex people have various gender identities. Most identify as either woman or man, while some may identify as neither, exclusively a woman, non-exclusively a man. Some intersex individuals may be raised as a woman or a man, but then identify with another gender identity later in life. Okay, so let's talk about this for a little bit. Where it says intersex people were previously referred to as hermaphrodites, that can't be always said about intersex people, because some intersex people do not have an extra part, or like an extra genitalia part, or breasts, or penis and vagina, or you know, um, so and so. Some are born on the inside, like myself, with the extra X chromosome when I become intersex. Um, So this talks about the human rights and stuff, about, you know, how I know of a hermaphrodite that was born with both parts. Her mother and father wanted a boy. As she grew older, she grew up with a penis, but grew breasts. So she actually became a female and was sewed shut. Like the vagina uh, passage was sewn shut and uh, was taken out. And she now, as a woman, has a penis and cannot, doesn't feel right because of that. And it was wrong for her parents to do that. And I think I think most, and it says here, I think if someone is born intersex, they need to let them grow up and make it their decision to be either woman or man, depending on what genitalia they want to get rid of. Now, they might want to keep both, you know, but the other day I watched a video of a penis turning in, like, surgically turning into a vagina. It was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. And for myself, I don't want to be a transgender, uh, but I do, as for the extra X, have a feminine side. All right, let's go to transgender now and talk about transgender. Transgender people are people who experience a mismatch between their gender identity or gender expression and their assigned sex. Transgender people are sometimes called transsexual if they desire medical assistance to transition from one sex to another. Transgender is also an umbrella term. In addition to including people whose gender identity is the opposite of their assigned sex, trans men and trans women. It may include people who are not exclusively masculine or feminine, people who are genderqueer, example, bigender or pangender, gender fluid or agender. Other definitions of transgender also include people who belong to a third gender or conceptualize transgender people as a third gender. Infrequently, the term transgender is defined very broadly to include cross-dressers. Being transgender is independent of sexual orientation. Transgender people may identify as heterosexual, homosexual, bisexual, or asexual, etc., or may consider conventional sexual orientation labels inadequate or inapplicable. The term transgender can also be distinguished from intersex, a term that describes people born with physical sex characteristics that do not fit typical binary notions of the male or female bodies. The degree to which individuals feel genuine, authentic, and comfortable within their external appearance and accept their genuine identity has been called transgender congruence. Many transgender people experience gender dysphoria, and some seek medical treatments, such as hormone replacement therapy, sex reassignment surgery, or physiotherapy. Not all transgender people desire these treatments, and some cannot undergo them for financial or medical reasons. Most transgender people face discrimination and in access to work, public accommodations, and healthcare. They are not legally protected from discriminations in many places. Now let's talk about this, right? Um, as we have gone through Klinefelter Syndrome, intersex, now transgender, it says here that transgender can also be distinguished from intersex. So these people who discriminate on a transgender is really discriminating on um, a form of disability. It's but not really. Um, Even though Klinefelter is classed as a disability, um, something that and I know a lot of you guys will, oh, transgender is not being a disabled. No, it's not being, it's not, but it is classed as not normal. Um, and disability usually means not normal. Not in normal, um, like not as in normal man or woman who hasn't got a disability, you know. So I really want to make protest on um, people who discriminate us, intersex people, of the way we choose to live. Um, I choose to live as a man, um, even though I have an extra X in my chromosome, female extra X chromosome. Um, but I have friends who have, like I said, Klinefelter syndrome and um, want to live as female and not male. Now, guys, I'm gonna go back to the um, the webcam and start videoing myself again and talk to you guys a little bit more about it. Hey guys, and welcome back. Okay, so I want to start a group here on YouTube for, I think, for intersex people who not just Klinefelters, but people who are transgender, have extra chromosomes um, in their makeup, and for Klinefelters as well. There are other syndromes out there that that are classed into intersex. So I'm going to make an intersex group. I'm with a few groups on Facebook that deal with intersex people, as well as transgender and Klinefelter Syndrome. If you want to check out any of those, I will put them in the description below. I just really want to be able to try and get this information across to people, as it means a lot to me that people aren't discriminated from how they were born. And I also want to, if you are transgender, please, I want you to go and get checked for Klinefelter Syndrome, because I have noticed that a lot of my friends who have come to me and said, I'm transgender and I have Klinefelter Syndrome, it just puts 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, 2 and 2 together. So I think, you know, us intersex people need to stick together and form a group and form a society of people that want to make a difference for us, for people like us. Anyway, thanks for watching. You know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'll subscribe back to you. Guys, please, whatever, I want to hear your story down in the comments below. So tell me, you know, who you are, transgender, intersex, Klinefelter. Any other syndrome out there that you think is with intersex as well. So thanks guys. I will talk. I'll be making more educational videos about Klinefelter and other syndromes based around Klinefelter Syndrome, intersex, and transgender in the future. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'm out. Take it easy. Turn that easy into a sleazy. I'll catch you on the flip side, and I'll smell you later.